Are you guys ready to yank that e-brake and power over? What's up everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to show you guys how to install our Hydro e-brake. Now here are all the parts and hardware that's included in this kit, so we're going to get straight to the install. So the first step is we're going to mount the base plate. Grab the collar clamps and attach them to the base plate with the bolts, nuts, and washer. After that, you can slide the collars onto the cart's frame. Make sure you level the base plate and tap the collars in gently with a rubber mallet. Once you got the base plate partially seated, go ahead and grab the other end of the collar clamps and start inserting the Allen bolts. Don't fully tighten everything just yet because we're going to make sure everything is leveled before we do that. Before we tighten the clamps, we're going to need to make some final adjustments to level the base plate. Once it's leveled, we're going to start with the clamps that are parallel with each other, and we're going to tighten down the nuts and bolts on the base plate. Once we get those two nuts and bolts tightened, we can start tapping in the clamps with a rubber mallet to seat the clamps into the frame. Once it's seated, we can tighten down the clamps with the two Allen bolts. So once you got the two clamps secured, now you can work on the other two clamps. Go ahead and start by tapping in the collars to make sure it's seated and make sure the base plate is leveled, and then you can start tightening down the nuts and bolts on the base plate and securing the clamps with the two Allen bolts. Now it's time to mount the Hydro e-brake. Grab the Hydro e-brake and mount it onto the base plate. We find that the frontmost setting is the most comfortable for us, but adjust it to your liking. You're going to use 4 bolts, nuts, and washer to secure the Hydro e-brake. Here's a little pro tip: if you don't want to disassemble the Hydro e-brake, use a needle nose plier to insert the front washer and bolts for the front 2 mounting holes. Once you got the nuts and bolts threaded in, go ahead and tighten down the nuts and bolts with a 13mm socket and wrench. So next step is we're going to run the brake lines. This Hydro e-brake setup utilizes a inline system, meaning the front brake pedal and Hydro e-brake both engage the rear caliper. So you can start by unbolting the brake line from the foot pedal off the brake caliper. Next is you're going to grab the adapter fitting and install it into the Hydro e-brake's rear port. Once you got the rear port on, go ahead and reconnect the original brake line with the new banjo bolt and crush washers. Now you can go ahead and tighten the brake line. Start with tightening down the adapter fitting and then tighten down the banjo bolt with a 14mm socket or wrench. Here's a clip to show you guys the brake line that we connected to the Hydro e-brake system. The next step is we're going to grab the second brake line and we're going to install the brake line on the front port of the Hydro e-brake. Be sure to use the provided banjo bolt and crush washer to secure the brake line. The next step is you're gonna route the other end of the brake line under the rear axle and route it to the rear caliper, and you can reinstall it with the original banjo bolt and crush washer.
Two washers?
Yeah, talk about always two washers, talk about
This one's a 12, right?
The next step is for electric drift carts only. If you're adding a brake sensor to prevent the system shutdown when pressing both gas and brakes at once, follow these steps. The brake sensor comes with a integrated banjo bolt and harness. Install the brake line with the banjo bolt and crush washers and tighten it. Next, plug the sensor harness into the main harness. Look for the green/yellow and black wire. Once it's connected, you're done with the brake sensor install. Make sure all the brake lines are fully secured and tightened. Now it's time to bleed the brake system. So first, you're gonna attach a bleed bottle to the caliper nipple and then submerge the hose in brake fluid. If you guys are interested in your own self bleeder bottle, you can purchase it on Amazon, and we'll have one in the link description below. Next, you're gonna fill the front reservoir with brake fluid. Pump the brake pedals about 10 to 20 times. Be sure to keep the reservoir filled at all time as you are bleeding the system. And then now you're gonna hold the front brake pedal and then hold down the hydro at the same time. Then open the caliper valve briefly to release some air. Close the valve and then release the hydro, then release the front brake pedal. Repeat the following step several times until you start feeling brake pressure and you get all the air bubbles out of the brake system. So just repeating again, make sure there's always brake fluid in the front reservoir. Don't let it run dry. Repeat the steps until you feel solid brake pressure, there's no air in the system, and you're good to go. I'm just going to show you some other clips of different angles so you guys can see the entire process. But if you guys have any questions, be sure to comment down below and we'll try to help you the best way we can. If you guys are interested in your own Hydro e-brake kit, be sure to check out our website at www.battleaero.com. Links will be in the description below. After you guys finish bleeding the brake system, make sure you tidy up the brake lines so it's not touching the floor or the rear axles or any moving parts for it to get damaged. I'll show you guys a little clip on how we did it. Once you get all the air out of the system, there you have it. You have completed the Hydro e-brake installed. Thank you for tuning in. If you guys like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.